Okay, I'd like to call the Site Plan Review Committee to order for Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. Roll call, please.
President Kardasky.
Here.
Trustee Paul.
Away,
But here. Member Kurowski
but here.
is excused. Member Persick.
Here.
Member Quinn is excused. Member Pamprin is excused. Member Rathburn.
Here.
Okay, please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remember our men and women throughout the world in uniform. I have no changes to the agenda. I need a motion to approve.
Second. So moved.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I need action on the minutes of the January 7th, 2025 site plan meeting.
To approve.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to approve those minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, number 6, action items. 6A, consider, discuss, act on a site plan review for an addition to Stadium View Bar and Grill at 1963 Holmgren Way, parcel VA-31-2-7. Aaron.
All right, thank you. I will share my screen and just bring up a quick image. There we go. I just wanted to give an overview of the location of the proposed enclosure. This is, as you can see, in kind of a bird's eye view of the second floor patio as it currently stands. The proposal is to enclose that area for year-round use through the use of basically overhead garage doors that are currently there and move those forward and architecturally be very similar to what is currently there as well. So here are the existing, the proposed drawings. All metal wall panels will use fully concealed fasteners, as is currently the case. And again, only condition of approval we have would be the use of fully concealed fasteners for exterior wall panels, and then just meeting all applicable requirements of the Ashwaubenon site plan review ordinance and all other applicable village ordinances. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Anybody have any questions?
No, it's pretty straightforward to me.
No, I mean, it looked pretty straightforward with regards to what's already there.
Okay, somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that it's passed.
Second. Second.
We have a motion and a second to recommend approval of what is presented for the Stadium View Bar. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
And then just for reference, since that is within the Sports Entertainment District, it will go to Plan Commission and Village Board for a recommendation and approval.
Okay, thank you. 6B, consider, discuss, act on a final planned unit development PUD request for a multi-use residential development on parcel VA-L333-2 Alice PAgels LLC property. Aaron.
All right, thank you. I'll share my screen again. And bring up the proposed planned unit development. So as indicated in the agenda item, this is for a final planned unit development. This was initially brought forward to the Site Plan Review Committee, Plan Commission, and Village Board late in 2024. Site Plan Review Committee didn't make a recommendation at the time. Plan Commission did recommend approval, and Village Board ultimately did approve the preliminary planned unit development. Since the preliminary planned unit development, the developer has gone back and made a few changes to the development based upon feedback that was heard throughout the preliminary planned unit development process. I just touch on a couple of those here. It does include the addition of a slight berm on the north end of the property adjacent to Arts Lane, the reduction in the number of townhomes along PAgels Place, and then also the change from townhomes to duplex units on the west side of the townhome area as well. Other features of the development do include 4 16-unit apartment buildings, like the preliminary plan, as well as you see Outlot 3, which will be dedicated to the village for stormwater management purposes. The lot sizes, again, are very similar to what you see currently at Woods Edge. And in terms of the PUD, will specifically call out the allowed mix of uses you see here under the R1 zoning district with the PUD overlay, which therefore would allow for the mix of uses. Furthermore, it would have a minimum of 56-foot lot frontage at the building setback line, minimum of 25-foot front yard setback, except for lots 34 and 35, which would have a standard 20-foot front yard setback, minimum of 5-yard side yard setbacks, minimum of 20-foot rear yard setbacks, and minimum 7,000 square foot lot size. I did list out the planned unit development review objectives under our ordinance and indicate how the proposed final PUD does address those. We did see Mary, Joel, and I did meet with some of the condo owners of the Misty Meadows condo development, which is located just to the southwest of the development here. Primary concerns related to making sure construction traffic does not travel through the condo association, since that is actually a private drive and is not a public street. We discussed using some signage, including some not a through street signage on both ends of that to clarify again that it is not a through street for public access. And then also including developing some basic triangle signage put in the middle of the street to again indicate no construction traffic through that area or to the south. In terms of recommended conditions of final PUD approval, approval of the final subdivision plat for Winding Creek Estates. The preliminary subdivision plat will be going to Plan Commission this evening. Submittal of a lighting plan with photometrics that is light trespass at no more than 0.5 foot candles at property boundaries or to at least no more than currently exists on site. Inclusion of sidewalks on both sides of all public streets. All parking areas, landscape islands, and drive areas are to have curbing, either conventional, curb pan, or rolled. Screen any rooftop or ground-mounted mechanical units visible from the property boundaries or street rights-of-way. Use of fully concealed fasteners for exterior wall panels. Approval of a development agreement between the developer and village for subdivision improvements. Submittal of detailed site plans and elevations for the townhome apartment development lots for lots 22 and 23. And just to clarify that those elevations will come back to the site plan review committee for separate approval. So this will be approving the PUD as a whole, but the apartments and the townhomes will come back for architectural review and approval by the site plan review committee. So we're not approving those elevations because they don't exist yet. Submittal of detailed utility and civil plans for village staff review and approval. Submittal of detailed stormwater management and erosion control plans for village staff review and approval. Provide adequate access easement to the stormwater pond. From public safety, police and fire, coordinate with Ashwaubenon Public Safety regarding FDC and key box locations for the multifamily units. Coordinate with Ashwaubenon Public Safety regarding fire hydrant locations and internal turning radii for the multifamily units. From forestry, submit a detailed landscape plan and planting schedule with the final engineering plans. From Bike and Ped, identification of bicycle parking locations for the apartment buildings, meeting the standards of the Association of Pedestrian and Bicycle Professionals. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, the development team is also in the audience if you have any questions for them.
Okay, any questions? I will say, yes, we did have a meeting yesterday with some of the residents and board for the Misty Meadows condo unit. Joel and I and Aaron and Tracy was there, and the people from the Misty Meadows Condo Association. And it was a good meeting. They do have concerns, and I understand their concerns because they do have a private road and they are responsible for that road. And that their biggest concern was the construction traffic that might travel down that road. However, I did talk to the developer last week, and he did assure me that there are some things that they're going to do and work through to make sure that there's not construction traffic on those roads. I don't know if anybody has any questions. There is the development team here, and
I have a question.
I'd like to make a couple comments.
Gary.
Reviewing the first time it came in for the preliminary, there was a lot of discussion from the neighbors, and I can understand their concerns. I think the development team went back and did a good job to please the people along with the staff that went over and talked to these neighbors. I've been over there some time ago about that private road. My personal opinion is I wish it wasn't even there, understanding the people's needs for it. But I think the signage is something that's going to be important on that project to make sure they come off of Ridge Road on that first street going right into the development rather than using the roads from the condo association there. So I hope that that is addressed immediately when they start breaking ground to make sure that does happen. On a whole, I think it's a good project for the developer and for the village. I'm assuming the residents around there are aware of that being developed. When they first moved there, vacant land don't sit still in Ashwaubenon because we don't have much of it anymore. So I think it's a good project, and I think it's well taken care of for the people around it.
okay, Dennis?
I just had a question for Aaron or anyone on the plan here. They show going up to Main Ave, future street. Can anybody shed any light on that?
I can address that. So the developer did contact the property owner. The property owner at this point is not willing or ready to sell. He's happy with the way things are right now. But we thought it was important to show that there is a plan for a future street north to connect to Spirit Way, if and when that property owner to the north is ready to develop.
So it's my understanding that the developer's intention is to eventually put the street through with
Well-
the cooperation of the property owner.
This developer, or it could be a future developer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely planned to move forward, but again, it's contingent upon the property.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
Aaron, is that property on the north there one of the owners of the PAgel property?
I'm not sure of the family relationship, but I just know at this point, he's not looking to sell.
Understandable.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? The only thing
If
that,
there's no other questions, I'll move to approve.
okay, do we have a second? We have a second from Dennis to approve, to recommend approval at the Plan Commission. The only thing I will want to say is, you know, housing is so very, very important, and we don't have a lot of land in Ashwaubenon to develop. So it is a good project. I do trust that the developer is going to work with everybody to make sure that there's not excessive, in any construction traffic going down that private road, because that's really important to the people that live there. So, and I trust, after talking with the developer, I trust that they will do everything in their power to do that. So, anyway, we have excuse me, just a minute. Can we open the floor, because we do have somebody from the Misty Meadows Condo Association that would like to talk.
Move to open the floor.
Okay, we have a motion and a second from Carrie to open the floor. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, if you'd like to come up and state your name and address at the microphone, please.
Joanne Kirchmar, 1076 Misty Meadows Circle, number 1. I just want to say, first of all, I want to thank all of the people that met yesterday, because I think the people at Misty Meadow went home feeling like the village really cared about us, and that's wonderful. My husband and I were the first ones to go in at Misty Meadow, and I guess I just want it to be very clear to everybody, including the developer, that having that as a private road was not anything that we had anything to do with. None of the people that moved into Misty Meadow wanted a private road. It was a problem with the original PUD that was recommended, and it was resolved by shortening the distance between the front of the condos, and there was a problem with code that the original developer did not have enough between where the condo started and where the road was. So that developer decided to make it a private road. So when all of us bought, we are not responsible for the fact that that was made as a private road. That was, the village approved it, and then we bought in because we loved the condos, not because of the private road. And we really, really appreciate the fact that the village is taking to heart that we are not all super wealthy people who can afford to replace our road every year. And so any help that we can get is really, really appreciated. And I just wanted everybody to know that. And I want the developer to know that this wasn't our plan. And any way that he can help us, we would really appreciate that. The people at Misty Meadow love living in Ashwaubenon. Many of them are retired Ashwaubenon teachers and retired Ashwaubenon business people, and they're thrilled that they were able, because at the time that that condo was being built, there weren't condos in Ashwaubenon, and so it was a good situation. So thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Okay, I need a motion to, unless anybody else would like to speak. No. Okay, I need a motion to close the floor.
So move.
So moved.
Second, a motion and a second to close the floor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. So we do have a motion on the floor to recommend approval of this final PUD to Plan Commission and Village Board. Any other comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, do we have items for next agenda?
Not yet, but you never know.
You never know, and you never know in Ashwaubenon, right? Okay, I need a
So,
motion. Oh,
real quickly, just with that, if we do have a meeting scheduled for the 18th,
that's right.
Wednesday.
to move that meeting, because that is the spring primary, and there will be a spring primary with a statewide election on it. So Wednesdays or Monday, the Monday preceding or the Wednesday following that Tuesday, I don't know if either of those days work best for the
We've done
group.
Wednesday in the past, haven't we?
Yeah. So the following day, Wednesday, does that
That's fine.
work for your arrangements, Gary?
Yes, Monday's a golf day.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now I need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, everyone.